All right, welcome everyone to episode 6 of Keeping It Light. I'm Captain Luke along with Snack Master Jay, more commonly known as Mr. Joel Henry. Joel, how are you doing?
Fantastic. As always, there's not too many bad days in my life, but
Good for you.
toot toot. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, absolutely. Everything's always great, man. Everything's always great. You know this.
Oh yeah, that's great. So yeah, it's been a while since we've done this, so I feel like we're a little out of sorts here, but we'll get it back together.
We'll get it. We'll get through it.
Yeah, all right. So I know you did a project during the time we weren't filming last week. What was that all about?
Yeah. It was in South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, at the Florence-Darlington Technical College. This was actually an opportunity brought to us by our dealer out there, and they had a large conference banquet area with a split wall in the middle, and they wanted to put accent lighting around both sides of the whole room, and they wanted a full truss set up for their stage that they were adding in. They do a big Dancing with the Stars event every year, and then a bunch of other things. So this was kind of an under the wire thing. I believe it's happening at the end of the month. So they gutted it, redoing everything in it, which is really cool. I went there to help them, made sure everything was up and running, and program on our Enigma M4 board, which is great. And they had 10 motif vignettes around the room, accent on a high rise lip around the upper wall. And then they put a truss with 4 GMAX 200s and 4 Verismo profile RGB ALCs. So got everything programmed for them, looked awesome. They're using our Lightcaster CRMX GOAT. They're using 1 transmitter and 3 receivers, and there was not an ounce of delay every time I turned it on, and it just made
Oh
it
wow.
perfect. Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. And yeah, they're super excited because they've never even really had anything like this. They had some really old lighting. They actually, I believe they had movers that didn't work. They had movers up there. They didn't work. So they ripped everything out, replaced it all with Blizzard, and so it was exciting to go down there and help them out. And I'm excited to see how the first event goes. So awesome. So kudos to Florence-Darlington Technical College and our dealers out there, Advanced Video, for helping us out. And I'm super excited to see how it goes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been talking to some people myself who have, they're complaining because they have really old rigs. They're not even up to LED yet, and
Right.
for us, that's like shocking. It's like how are you not at LED yet? You're still using incandescents,
Yeah.
and
Amazing.
people are still slowly making that upgrade. So interesting and very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where are you right now? It looks like you're in the same room as me, but you're not.
Surprise! I'm not. I'm actually in LA, Burbank, California. I've been here since Monday, again visiting some current resellers and talking to some new potential dealers as well. Super exciting. Some nice big companies out here. Just really trying to get our name and our products out there, and everybody is super nice. Really excited to see our stuff, and as much as I can hope for, super impressed with what I'm getting to show them along with our rep, Sound Sales West out here. So I've literally been all over the place, pretty much almost down to San Diego from Burbank, which if you know the area, it's a long drive, and then back up. And in fact, Monday morning, I'm here for 2 weeks. Monday morning, we travel up to the Sacramento area. So that's a nice long drive over to Reno after that, and then down to Vegas. So
Oh wow.
it's a big trip. Loving every part of it. Again, great visits. Enjoying some nice sunny, much better weather than Wisconsin at this moment. So just great, and really positive responses from current customers and hopefully potentially new customers.
Awesome. Yeah, my week last week was very uneventful. I spent it sailing around the Caribbean, so very different than
Aha!
you. I was on vacation.
Very different. Yeah. Lucky duck there.
Yes, Cozumel, one of my favorite islands, and got to go
Nice.
down to Belize, and where else was I? Oh, Costa
Oh,
Maya out
wow.
of Tampa. Yeah, really nice, very relaxing cruise.
For
Enjoyed
sure.
myself.
For sure. Awesome.
So that brings us to our fixture of the week, which is the UVonix Blackstar.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that light, and then I'll give us a little bit of backstory and a little bit of what makes that fixture so special.
Yeah, for sure. We've actually had this fixture for quite a while, a good number of years. And it is a true 365 nanometer black light. It's 12 10 watt UV LEDs, and this is a true UV. This isn't your standard purplish where sure you get the UV, a little bit of a UV pop, but there's so much more science behind it with that true UV. It's very simple to use because it is only essentially one output. So channel and programming is very easy. What is really neat about it is a 30-degree beam angle, but it spreads really far. If you just let it keep going, it has a lot of power and a lot of punch. So you really get a lot more out of it, even though it's technically only 30-degree beam angle. It also has included barn doors, which is awesome. So if you do need to keep it in, you don't want the light to bleed onto something else, you can keep that nice and tight. What's also really neat is it does have adjustable LED refresh rates from 900 hertz to 25 kilohertz. So as far as recording or anything like that, or video, you're not going to see any flickering. And you can also dial it in to something specific if you're doing different settings as well on that. So it's really a powerful, very cool light that can be used for so much. And that true comparison to, let's say, like a wildfire light. Now, granted, wildfire's been around a long time, and they're really the number one in the industry. But they're also very expensive. I'm not, so it's hard to just accept, if there's other options out there like our UVonix Blackstar.
Yeah, this was something that when I first came to Blizzard back in late 2018, this was like one of those fixtures that I realized that like this was my personal mission was to make a true 365 LED blacklight. Just because the previous production I was working for used a lot of them, and at one point we were using the old conventional arc lamp blacklights along with I guess they were DMX shutters on the front. They weighed about 60 pounds all put together, and they were getting really old. We had some malfunctions. I think they were going on 15 years old. And when we ended up having to replace them because they were all failing, we ended up having to go with the exact same fixture because the wildfires were way out of reach budgetarily, and nothing else had the performance that we needed, which
Right.
was no visible light. Looking at the rooms that we're in, appropriately purple for our UVonix fixture, a lot of fixtures that are called UV put out a very deep purple light, which is like we'll put a cast on the wall similar to what you see behind us, which will cause fluorescent paints to glow. It is far enough in UV spectrum for that. But if you were trying to sneak around in a room wearing all black, people will easily see you. This comes true for a lot of puppetry stuff. I did some puppetry years and years ago where the puppets were blacklight and we were wearing velour jumpsuits top to bottom as a crew. This was part of the crew's job. This was back at Busch Gardens in Tampa a million and a half years ago. And we would dance with the puppets that we were taught choreography as the crew. But from head to toe, we had masks on, long jumpsuits, and they were like we looked like really dark Teletubbies running around. But if the black lights had any visible light, people would see us and it would ruin the effect.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
So and this is where your nanometers comes into account. So as you go up the spectrum, you get into the UV range. But as visible light goes from, infrared all the way to ultraviolet. But once you get just past that ultraviolet part of the spectrum, you can still make phosphors glow, but it's out of the realm of what the eye can see. So like the wildfire invisible paints start glowing. So you can have a white paint that will glow green or glow orange or blue. Wildfire has a ton of the paints. They're the best at what they do with those paints, but it requires a true 365 nanometer blacklight to do it. So the UVonix is our answer to that. And it was completely developed from the ground up by us. It is one of the few blacklights out there that actually uses a visible light filter. We had special filters created specifically for that fixture that filters out all the available visible light and only is the light that you can't see. So, pigments, phosphors, everything glows more intense. It's a great light, and I really want more people to be using it.
I mean,
So,
they're awesome. I've used them a few times on a couple different gigs, and they're pretty cool. They like I said, they're super punchy, and yeah, you get that true UV pop without the spillage of actual light, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
Totally
and
cool.
anyone who was at LDI, we totally used them for our glow in the dark mini golf,
Mm-hmm.
cow abduction, and our skee ball machine was all
Yep.
done up in blacklight.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, so coming up, we have a small show in Milwaukee called Midwest DJs.
Midwest DJs
I've
live.
never been live. Okay.
Live.
All right.
That's
So
the same.
what is that? I don't know. What are we going
No,
to do in
no.
that show?
Yeah, so that's actually been they've come a long way. They've been around for at least I think they're going on their 15th year or even more now. And they started in just a simple bar in Racine, Wisconsin, and they've just kind of grown it from there and made it bigger and bigger every year. And now they're at the Hyatt Regency. A few years ago, they were at Potawatomi, which is a big casino in Milwaukee. So I mean, they're definitely they've are definitely growing and making the show even bigger and bigger every year. So, and it's all about DJs, local DJs, national DJs, coming around. And again, it is a small trade show in regard for us. We're there to show off our product, but they've got seminars, they've got teachings, they've got guest speakers. It really is a big to do now. So it's cool. It's right in the backyard of Blizzard, and so we're always happy to be a part of that. And it's a great group of folks that run it.
Awesome.
Huh?
So we never got a winner. No one ever replied. Our winner for the original Beamy Baby that we gave away. So we are actually going to give another one away right now. I believe this is our last one. I don't think we have any
At the
more.
moment.
Yes, I do know that they did finish production. So they are hitting the water and they should be here as soon as that container arrives at our dock. So they will be for sale soon. But this one goes to Madison at Downright Productions. Joel's going to reach out and congratulations, you're the winner of our next Beamy Baby. Next week, we're going to give away a swag bag because USITT completely cleared us out of swag.
Surprise swag bag.
We have. A surprise swag bag. You might just get some pens and pencils from Joel's desk. We'll see.
Never that bad. Come on now. We always got something. We always got something to give away. For sure.
So our survey is still going on. The link is in the description. If you want to be entered to win, please do that survey. It really does help us out. It only takes 2-3 minutes to do, and then you'll be entered to win throughout the entire season. So as we keep going, we just keep pulling from those surveys. So if you want to get in there sooner rather than later, it works out better for you.
Always.
And then next week's episode, I think we got something special planned. What is that, Joel?
So we are going to invite one of our reps, actually the rep that I'm hanging out with here in California. His name is Aiden Gilligan, and he is in the music industry, of course. And as a rep for us, he reps multiple different companies, but of course reps our lighting. Young hip dude from California, and we're excited to have him on. In fact, I'm actually joining his podcast tonight, which is all about the LA and the music industry and talking about things are going on and hopes of making things better and all that. So I'm excited to join his podcast, and so we would love to have him on ours. So we're gonna bring him in next week for that, and so I'm excited.
All right, that's exciting. We will put a link in the video description to his podcast for anyone who's eager to hear about the LA scene and maybe see Joel do another podcast. If you cannot get enough of the Snack Master, he will be on that.
This guy.
And if once again, click like and subscribe. Follow us on whatever the social media platform is that you are watching us on. And if you have questions, throw them in the comments and let us know. We'll address them on future episodes. And until then, keep it light.
See you later.